Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. No riches, 145. We're gonna hop right into some games, just spectating this week. Relaxing. Talking to y'all. Alright, setting 3 versus setting. Folks, at the about 5-minute mark, I'm going to run a 1-minute ad break just to get things, no pre-roll while people come in. I should have done that earlier, I realize. But I'm going to give people time to get in here, say hi. Arm is on an Unchained Mill deck, which is very odd. Oh, we've got fusion materials. What are we fusing into, though? We have a material that it's in hand, and it's stealing with, alongside one of our Rakea. Opponent activating Primate Howl, calling Archfiend Soldier. Those are going Archfiend Soldier and a piece of Talwar or something. But I guess the lower attack is nice. Now we're gonna banish it and think for the follow flip Elytra. Now we're gonna use this to steal what we can only assume would either be the Crimsonite. But we're going to destroy the Crimsonite, which means that we don't get to steal anything that's from that hole. Does not resolve. Multi-damage is going to banish the monster. while discarding Whirlwind Riot Dragon. Actually, probably a very good card here. The Unchained monster is Unchained Twin Rakea. Destroying that instead of remaking the Crimsonite is a little interesting to me. No Manic Cat either. Anya has 5 cards, 1 set card, and hopes. Some kind of Archfiend strategy, it seems. What was them? Oh, so good. The other one. Set the Rakea from graveyard. And popped Merrily to remake Crimsonite here by shuffling back the Rakea. Anya is on King's cards, but they're playing this for some reason. Or King's the Poker Knights. For some reason, we're on Archfiend Soldier. Sending the Jackknife ran to grave to draw a card. It's all well and good, but that does mean that we're letting them have just going to the board load Riot Dragon again. The trouble with this deck is that this deck doesn't really have a really good way to send a board load Riot Dragon back to the grave. But right now, it looks like Anya's in a rough spot. Looks over, folks. Oh, no, we're making see. They have one more turn. But can they get to the Mech-Whipped Engineer? Really? Card is pretty neat, actually. I can't really lie. Dark Contact for the oh, that's for the Ocean Soldiers in there. Okay, I see it. That's interesting. Going into the Darkest Night. Darkest Night here is going to return both these monsters lose their attack. Except for Morella, they can't do that. You can only save one monster this turn. Does he choose to save Mech-Whip Engineer? Or does he choose to save Morella? Okay. No response. Fair welcome with one fiend. Why? Okay, I guess. Oh, Wizard XMQ Poker Knights. Alright, we're milling 3. What? I mean, I guess. Damn. You're popping the Merly. Activate that effect. Small problem, though. It's never gonna have enough attack. Not with the fusion materials the Darkest Knight used, but in the benefit and defense, make sure of that. Anya managing quite the turnaround in this game, honestly. Let's go and watch. Abe here. Attachment 2, easy. To attach the Silent Graveyard. Really? Interesting tech. Tim. I'm sorry, Tim. I just saw that Tim missed signups. Virtual World Jaja. Alright. Our VW player is looking on good form here. Is that Tim and Trop himself? It is, I thought so. I figured it might be you, since you didn't get to sign up.
Yeah, I forgot.
It's alright. Alright, beginning of Heaven and Earth. Let's see it.
Oh, unlucky. Unless he can discard it or use it as fusion material, probably. Wait. Wizard plays Poker Knights control.
He selected it by accident, I think he said.
You really do hate to see opponent's crazy beast when you're playing Xyz archetype.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. tough. There's really not a lot you can really reliably do.
I just realized, because Crazy Beast detaches for effect, it can trigger tier lemons.
Yeah, but I don't know how you would ever do that.
I mean, Earthbound Fusion is... Well, the key point, it doesn't need to detach from themselves, so he can detach like from
That's
Mannequin Cat
true.
and detach Merlin.
I guess I don't know what that would come up really, besides like some kind of
And there is
maybe.
already level 6 that some tier element decks playing is Earthbound Fusion. So you need just to find another level 6 and you can make Crazy Beast relatively consistently.
Well, I wouldn't use the word consistently, but
I said more consistent, relatively
you
consistently.
said relatively consistently, but I just wouldn't use the word at all. Honestly, Volcasaurus. Hold on, I should do this for you. Just keep the stream on in the
Martin
background.
Wizard wins this week. I'm kinda also interested to try Primate Trap and Red Lotus with Gemini monsters.
Why? I don't know why we would play the Permanent Trap. We were talking about this earlier. It's like
Well,
insanely bad.
I'm talking about Howl, what do you mean?
Oh,
I didn't say Counter Trap. Yeah, Counter Trap is horrible with no way to recycle it. If you could recycle it in NR, it would be good.
yeah.
Very interesting choice, Silent Graveyard. But if it were up to me, I would rather play Soul Release.
That grouping effect does matter, admittedly, but like, just
I mean,
the
I would
cost and all
honestly
that
say it's the only reason to play it over Soul Release.
probably
But Soul Release, just being able to permanently deal with pins like Cutter Shark is too good for me.
Hmm.
Like oftentimes Silent Graveyard just delays opponent's graveyard, but Soul Release actively deals with it. Also, good thing to remember, you can banish your own cards if you need it for
Yeah.
any reason.
I doubt it'll come up often, but that's true.
Banish Keystone. I never seen I never seen it resolved this way.
What?
A crazy beast summons himself from graveyard and attach other one as material.
Oh, well, yeah, you're right. I haven't seen that. Interesting. But that's definitely something I could do.
Also, one of the most hilarious interactions that Crazy Beast can detach materials from opponents' face down Xyz monsters.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense when you consider in a real game, Xyz monsters kinda always known, even if it's face down because of materials. Uh, because materials are real cards and they are under it.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That is Wizrad's victory. I mean, imagine he wins this tournament.
Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah, just like... But now it's possible. Because he did take his first game. And SC did, Mono did. Oh, that's what asking around. So we're gonna run an ad break, folks. Then what do you think of Crystron if Crystron would get the new trap as rare? Tier 2. Tier 2 or Tier 1. Tier 1 if someone gets really good with it. If we get the trap, it's Tier 2. At least. But I'm gonna knock on wood because I honestly I don't think we are. So
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was tier 1.
I would not be surprised if we
Because
don't get the card, is what I'm worried about.
we
Right?
have so many ways to search trap card if we got it.
Yeah. Super accessible.
Like, because it's machine, for example, we can just use Scribe Recycle to search it.
Well, sure, but that seems... I don't know how much I like that. I feel like there are better ways to summon Crystron from deck and such. There definitely are. Anya, I didn't get their score, so we're gonna watch their game. We already saw that game. Duh. Never mind. We're gonna watch a different game. They're also on card night. Poker night.
I was thinking about trying Crystron FA.
If we get the card, it's definitely... A lot of people are gonna look into it. But... Look, I'm very scared about it. Not because if we do get it, because we might not get it. And I do really want to get it.
I mean, after we got Atlantean Link 3, I started
okay.
to believe everything possible.
So, the reason for that is because there was 10 cards in that set, and we got 4 of them, right? The reason that I think that I'm like mostly confident, mostly thinking we're more likely to get it than not, is just because there's 5 Crystron cards, and knocking on wood here, there's not been an archetypal set of support that has 5 cards that did not give us an NR card. There just hasn't. The closest thing to that is Chimera, which was 5 cards with no other cards, and all of them are high rarity. And that one has its own problems. But that deck... That's the point of comparison for me. Why didn't we send Lao Lao? What the? Wait, why did we discard the monster here? It definitely felt like we should have summoned the Lao Lao here, right? Instead of. Hmm. Iron Dragon popping that versus it's Armed Dragon. Ooh. No wonder it did so poorly.
Well, at least he got out for Glaciosaurus.
Hmm.
Oh wait, never mind the targets.
The target.
For some reason I thought if it needs to be destroyed by opponent's card, it has to not target, but no, it's that bad.
I don't know what else to say to that. It's true.
No wonder no one is playing it.
Working your Christian is a level 3 tuner constantly gives your advantage a bunch of mats and you 1 card synchro. He's a 1 card synchro. That much is true. He does constantly gear card back. That much is still also true. The issue with this, in my opinion,
Is it you can only use one effect of Prisman monsters?
what?
They have 2 effects and you can use only one per turn.
What says that?
So on many monsters you can either destroy 1 card you control to summon Crystron from deck, or banish this card and search Crystron card.
The fuck is Riro on about? I dropped. No, you didn't.
What is he playing?
I don't know. Would totally perform pal, but that's not the point. He didn't drop. But he's like, I dropped. No. You can't just say... You can't just, like, project into my brain that you dropped and think that I'm gonna get that message. That's not how this works. I gotta get a message in the drops channel. And I just scrolled through the normal channel and you didn't say anything. They didn't say anything there either. You know that you dropped before the round starts.
Oh,
I'm
I
gonna
see
write you
issue.
in.
I thought he wrote that he dropped in drops channel, but yeah, now I understand what's the problem.
Yeah, the drop in the drop channel was from last week. I mean, now he dropped.
I wanna say it's kind of cool card back.
Well, it's a really cool card back.
Yeah, one of the best I've seen in Master Duel.
Alright, 2D battery draws her turn. Proof Finesse.
Love this card. I think it's underrated.
It's a really cool card. It's interesting that they started getting attention now. I know people were playing it for a bit before, but
Like, everyone plays him almost exclusively to banish cards to trigger trap effects, but he also really good on his own. Like, being able to grab any banished trap cards.
Ooh. Not that that matters, but it's really funny that that effect activated at all.
Yeah, you don't see it every day.
And you really don't ever see it. You don't want to even summon that guy. But looks like we've got a pretty rough hand here for Monochromatic. He's just trying to draw into something. But actually, having monsters stacked over might have been the best thing that happened to him. Level 4 discards and its level 3 is broken and curse drawn. Look, it's a very interesting deck that I'm. If we get Cluster, it's going to be fascinating to explore it. But I don't want to talk about it until we know, right? I don't want to talk about this Limbo. I hate talking about this Limbo.
Oh, wait, all Cristrons are water? I never noticed.
What? The Cristrons are water, yeah. The entire deck is water. They're like a version of Dynamis in a sense. In the lore, so they're water, because Dynamis is water.
Yeah, I guess it makes it playable in Mirmail's builds.
The idea was that in the first thing, he goes, Lesser Pendulum goes around helping fight the Amorphages or whatever, and then that's when he helps out the Magispectors, the Ignites, and the Dynamists, and he leaves behind an armor, and each of those armors becomes one of the True Dracos, and the True Dracos transform, or the True Dracos, when Lesser Pendulum fucks off and becomes a True Draco Phoenix, the True Dracos, which are Magic Pegasus from Magispector, Ignis Heat for Ignite, and Dynamite Knight for Dynamist. Go around and deal with 3 more groups, which are the Zodiac, the Crystron, and the Metal Foes. And then that's when they do the Trick Kings and shit. So wait, no, they aren't equivalents. I had to play that out in my head to get that out of my brain. But no, they aren't meant to be equivalents. They just happen to both be machines. Though that's not true because there's a fire, a water, and then there's an earth, which is odd. They just didn't want to do Magic Spectre. They just really wanted to make Zodiacs real. Really wanted to ruin Yu-Gi-Oh! For a minute there. Why should they do that trap in SR? Because the other cards are 10s more broken. Because they could make all 5 of them NR and it wouldn't be that out of the ordinary. And it's a main set, which means we're going to get 10 to 13 cards. And if I remember correctly, about 10 of those cards are unaccounted for. And we're going to get some in each set. There's going to be 10 free agents. I would say there's a decent chance we get 1. But I would not put it above 50% chance that we get Cluster. Because if they make it... So, the other reason is that Cluster, I don't even think it's played that much in Crystron. But if it did, you'd be cooked. You'd absolutely be an SR. But Crystron is at a point that they absolutely could do that. Alright, so we are seeing... Back onto the game, we're looking at VW set up another board, another VW player. Was this 2 or 3 of them? Jaja, Goblins, Crazy Beast, pass. Not a bad end board. Suship. Going into the Captain Roland. Revealing Salad Man, great card, and then... What? And wow.
Why is there a sudden rise of popularity of Virtual World? I
Don't
don't
know.
remember it being buffed.
It wasn't. It just has more players now. It's a good deck. We haven't seen what SC's on, so let's see that. Is there 3? I only counted 2 so far. VW players. Oh, Draco Kid is 1. Oh, I think that is 3.
Unlucky.
Yep, there's that. Ooh, but Fiend Griffin's gonna save us a little bit here. We're going into Diabolic and add back the Fiendish Rhino Warrior and...
Oh.
Dark Contact. If we don't get the trap but get the Synchro, I think it would still be good. No, it would actually be dramatically worse with the Synchro, I can't lie to you. But also, we won't get the Synchro. That's not happening. If it's any card that's the
Why?
trap, don't... Me saying we might not get the trap is not me saying the trap might be SR and another card will be NR. It's me saying we might not get anything.
Why did he fuse in main phase 2? Is quick play has restriction?
So, hysterically, this is not a quick play spell.
Oh,
I thought it
I
was
don't know why I
too,
thought
right?
it was quick.
It's okay. Thank you for saying that though, because I thought it was fucking crazy for thinking that. But I really did go like, okay, so quick battle phase, you can do this, right? I don't. It's something about the card art. It's gotta be.
Yeah, it's some really mysterious Mandela effect with this card.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we don't worry about Krishan until what is it? Fucking Tuesday? Until Tuesday. End of maintenance on Tuesday. Because that's when we'll know. Before we know, I don't want to be speculating on if the deck would be good, because then if we don't get the cards, it's gonna be so disappointing. And I've done that too many times. I've dealt with that too many times. Like, I remember when Destiny thought we were gonna get Tier Limit Kashtira because Destiny had a hole in his head. And he was like, this deck's gonna be so good with that when it gets this card. And I'm like, guys, we're gonna have to ban this card. And I'm sitting here like, no, we're not, because it's not gonna be legal. It's gonna be banned by default. Like, what the fuck are you on about? This is a Tier Limits Kashtira. We already had Kashtira. It was already good. Or it was already decent.
Yeah, you really gotta lower your expectation with this stuff.
Yeah. And what bothered me so much is it was Destiny. Like, you've been around the fucking pond. You know what's up. But evidently not. Alright, going here. SC is holding on for dear life. This Tindangle deck just barely trying to make it work here. Flipping up the Subterra Succession, sending Drell to add Toddler of Torment, which is gonna trigger absolutely nothing. Set a card and pass. Okay. Banish the triple burst. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that we added the triple burst dragon. Because now we can send Toddler. Toddler's going to revive itself by setting itself to the field. The Nickel Intruder's going to set itself to the field. Oh. The Fiend Griffey in the mirror. But the Dynamation we activated last chain is going to save us for another turn. But this is still really rough, folks. SC43 better have a monster to get another Tindangle online.
I remember when Mono lost 1/5 round against me with Finn Griffin, and when I was messaging, I accidentally misspelled Finn Griffin as Friend Griffin.
It's true. And now we're flipping them all up. Tindangle Delaunay is going to save us here, giving us access to a whole bunch of cards. And now we're... Ooh, what? The normal summon of Terrifying Toddler of Torment is interesting here. We really want that rank 3. What rank 3 are we really looking for here? Ah, I see. Troika. So I see what the plan is. I believe we're planning on using these to attack directly. Because Troika... And then we Drelth send one of the cards, flip it face down. Though no, Intruder doesn't get to trigger off that. Alright, while they're doing this... Oh, I don't want to avoid it. I do it. Okay, we are going to banish Make this a 3K body. Getting rid of the Joker's Knight, the Stormy Toby, and the Permanent Howl. And then a 6 and a 6 makes, like I said, Crazy Beast. Now, this is not lethal. This is not lethal at all. But we get to steal that Volcasaurus' card, put it in the graveyard, and detach just one of ours to steal their count of cards. Meaning that we can now attack directly. And deal a bunch of damage. And as long as we have a way to get rid of that summoner of whatever. Oh, I guess not. I guess we're just attacking over this and saying you better have it. Problem is, there's a high chance they have it. This duel is not over. But what they have is also a continuous spell, or continuous trap, so they're gonna have to have two of it. Anyway, I'll be right back. Very good duel. Is this the Tin Dangler? A bit behind on the times you are, but you are correct. This is Tin Dangle. And it is a lot stronger than you think. Flip monsters on the meta rise. That's true. We ain't even fighting that.
Did I miss anything interesting?
Still hanging on. Jindangle is using Deathernay now again. It looks like SC might have a way to turn this game around right now. So let's just watch and see, I guess. The attempt to resummon the return the crazy beast, but because we summoned 5, the monster cannot hit the field. And then simply just goes to grave.
Troika actually has interesting synergy with Dindangles because it can flip your monsters when they special summoned.
Wait, what can?
Troika can flip your monsters face up.
Oh, well, that's true. Alright, we're attacking. Prima Howl. Anya, just both these duelists are just holding on for dear life right now.
Did he use both a crazy beast?
That'll do it.
Why didn't he attach Primate Howl? Did he use both?
Hmm. I'm not sure at the top of my head. That makes round 2, folks. Oh no, it doesn't. Wizard is still playing.
Yeah, Wizard is still playing.
Couple spots
Oh,
per
you can
game. That's true.
individually decide which card to summon and others. Interesting.
Yeah, reptiles are. Oh, Tame is on reptiles this week? That's odd. I mean, he was talking about building reptiles without using. What was it again? It was,
Octoadix?
yeah, Octoadix. But I really don't know why he chose to actually bring the list. It was a neat thought experiment, but I can't imagine that without Ogdos is any better than just running it with the Ogdos.
Spoiler alert, he plays Ogos.
Oh. Does he play more than just Serpent Strike now? Yeah, the really funny payoff is that you can keep Hazard Lizard Dose on field and draw a card every turn in theory, but that seems unlikely. Any reptile deck worth their salt, I imagine, is on 3 of it, though.
I mean, Serpent Strike is kinda insane. Imagine in what state the deck was before it even got Lizardos and Celine Snapper.
Oh, and it was bad. It was bad, trust me. Because Deck Devil, fun fact, used to be known as like the Ogdoadic guy in certain circles. So he did try to make it work in this format. And it did not go that well. And he was very insistent that once they got their support, which not the most recent stuff, but the stuff before that, they would be crazy. They were not.
Haggard Lizardo is being used against reptile player. You dare to use my own spells against me, Potter?
Ugh. Betrayal. You know, when we saw Goblin Troika, people said this card was bad. And I said, this card could be good. It's Utopia, and we don't have a Utopia card in this format. So, there's reason to play it. I didn't anticipate that it would be used for its other effects.
I mean, Troika is okay card.
Yeah, the bottle position changing comes up quite a bit, especially in the deck that it's being used in, which is Pindangle, which has face down cards, so you want it to face up sometimes. Like Tim talked about a bit ago.
It only triggers on special, if I remember correctly, and very few ways to special summon in face down position.
Toddler, Intruder, Angel. So there are ways. There's certainly ways. Alright.
By the way, time in 2 minutes.
Time in 2 minutes. Well, this is gonna spit in my face of the idea that Cutter Shark extends games. Because Cutter Shark isn't in this, so... Rather unfortunate!
Now this is funny situation.
Yeah.
I'm
Wizard
talking about
drawing
effects
into...
right now.
When Wizard's on 26 traps, eventually he's gonna run out of monsters.
Yeah, it looks like Tame is going to win this in time.
Well, looks like it, but not guaranteed.
Well,
Oh, no,
spoiler
they're
alert
just
from the
gonna
future,
normal
looks
win
like
this.
pretty much guaranteed.
Oh, hold on. They might not. But it is
Time right now.
time, so I am gonna announce that. Wizard has 1 turn to make this turn back. And that is the end of the duel. At the end of this turn, the winner is declared, and it is Tame.
But I mean, you're still not live. It's turn 21 right now.
Wait, oh fuck, am I not live? Oh fuck, I'm not live? Really? Hold on. Do you know
No.
whose turn it was? When I said
It was Tame turn.
it was Tame, so Wizard's next turn is the last turn, right? That's what you mean by that?
And it is game. Wow, can't believe the result.
Oh. Wizrad W. Okay, well, I'm glad you pointed that out, because I was about to declare it tame. That's a unique fuck up that I haven't seen before. On my end, anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tame kind of forgot he could win in time and haven't played against Volcasaurus.
Looks like it. Alright, folks, you know what that means. We're getting a 3-minute ad break, and after those 3 minutes, we'll be starting up round 3 of 4. For the record, I drew Lotus. Neat. And it would have been game if not time. Well, didn't you already have game? Right there? Look, whatever's most recent. You won the game in that time, and I did not call a winner. And that's because it was the same turn. So, ad break is going on now. Replay we'll watch. Below cost and harm. This over here so I can look at the report scores. Destiny W dropping Refuto. Merlin wins over Tame. SC beats Anya. Tutu Battery beats Monochromatic. Abe Mania. Glob. And Draco Kid. So with this, let's do a halfway check-in. We have 4 contestants undefeated, which include 2D Battery, which I haven't checked in on, actually. I think they're on Goaty. I'd assume, anyway. Merlin, who is rocking with the King's Knight. SC43, who's rocking with the Tin Dangles. And Draco Kid, who is a new player in on BW. This is an interesting new player deck, for sure. As a matter of fact, for the rest of this ad break, while I get the bracket ready, I'm going to go watch 2 Battery's game, because I don't know what deck they're on, and I want to know.
A Gaia trap card has such an insane payoff when you can resolve it.
What card?
A Gaia trap card. Don't
Oh, yeah.
remember
Oh, no,
exactly how it's
absolutely.
called.
Oh, my God. What the fuck? That's insane.
It's like literally the best one singular card you can resolve in decks that play Roland. At the low cost of playing Garnets.
Oh, 2 Battery is on Inferno Ball. Interesting. Oh, my boy said time to lose 2 times in a row. I've satisfied my two wins. No, Draco Kid, you gotta push higher. You gotta win your first event, man. The stage is set for you, bro. I want to watch Draco Kids game. I'm rooting for them now. Draco Uncle. Like,
I wanna say tactical trapper effects is so strong he might as well say can be destroyed by battle or card effects.
what? I don't think I quite understood that.
I said Profanis effect is so strong he might as well mean it can be destroyed by battle or card effects.
I guess? Does it not say that?
It's not. It only says if this card is owner possession destroyed, you can set one of your banished normal traps.
The only difference with... I actually strongly believe that most cards that say destroyed by card effect or destroyed by battle or card effect specifically should just say if his card is destroyed. Like, I
mean, it kind of says it. It's written if this card in your owner's possession destroyed by opponent card.
Yeah, but other cards that say this card is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect should just say if this card is destroyed.
Well, blame this on Konami localizers.
No, because it's a difference in how the card works. But I think having that difference is redundant and confusing.
I mean, I can remember like one difference.
Like, because your card
equipped.
was destroyed by a game mechanic, as it doesn't work. Like, as an example.
Yeah, as I said, if like you equip it with, for example, Therian Bull.
If my card leaves the field because of Gozen Match, but it has an effect that says if this card leaves the field by card effect, I should be able to activate that card effect.
You wouldn't be able to activate it anyway because it's banished face down.
What? No, I said Gozen Match, not evenly matched.
Oh, well, never mind.
But, point being, by the rules of the game, that effect wouldn't let me activate it. In my opinion, that effect variation should not exist. I also strongly believe that it's fucking stupid that cards still say normal or special summon instead of just summoned. Because the only difference is flip summoning? Come on now. It would save you like 3 words of text.
I mean, it's kinda relevant sometimes when card used Book of Moon effects for disruption, and it would be kinda unfair if opponent got follow-up from that. It does matter in today's meta, to be honest.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Like, if I get imperm before I activate my effect, that's, one, you're doing it wrong. But 2, this wouldn't be a problem. Because if I flip the face down and then flip the face back up, it would still have its effects. Its effect wouldn't fucking activate, but like, if it wasn't an on-summon effect... If it was an on-summon effect, I've already triggered it, and therefore I'm not going to activate it again because cards are hard once per turn nowadays. It only really applies for cards that aren't hard once, and those cards shouldn't exist, and that with those cards, I can see why, if the cards are once per summon, you can do this. I could definitely see it in cases of a card not having a hard once, but the vast majority of cards nowadays have a hard once and should have a hard once. So I really just don't see the point of needing that.
I mean, as I said, it was change interaction for Book of Moon effects disruption. Like, opponents now are less incentivized to use them.
Wait, why?
Because, for example, like some grind game, you use Book of Moon on monsters with good on summon effect, but next turn opponent just flips it face up and gets its effect.
Okay, that's too big of a deal. Future Book of Moon effects give them the Geo that they can't flip themselves face up.
It's actually very rare effect. Like Geo is one of the very few who does it.
Yeah, start printing more cards that do that then. If that's the real problem. It saves you. My point is that the downsides do not outweigh the benefits, because the benefit is every card text is shorter. Every card text that has an on-summon effect becomes shorter. And that is so immeasurably important, or so immeasurably helpful, that I truly cannot look at that and go, but this is a concern. The benefits will outweigh the downside of that. Of if my opponent waits a turn and I don't have any materials, they could theoretically activate their effect again. I mean, yeah, no, that's it, really. It just doesn't really do anything like that. Interactions do change. I won't deny that, but I don't think they change that much detrimentally. Targeting to get rid of our 2 material card. Are we gonna banish it temporarily? We are. Drelf here, SC43, doing his very best to squeeze out a victory in a very, very iffy position. But those okay, I'm gonna say it right now. If we have to hit Tindangle, the first thing I'm doing is putting Delinated 2. Like, even if the card we had to hit is a different card, that card goes to 2. The grind game on that card is the biggest boon to this deck. It's crazy. But, which is also why it would go to 1, because this deck is not that egregious. Of which, being able to do this twice a game is really that big of a deal. And only being able to do this once a game might be too much for the deck to handle. I also think a deck like this is very unique. And I think it's okay to exist in the format, absolutely.
I agree. As long as the deck is not too good to TK, it allows to exist.
Yeah.
ATK is the only kind of decks I don't like at all in NR.
I get it, but I don't fully agree. I think having a fragile ATK deck, like a deck which could do something but would lose to like 1 or 2 interactions. So you're playing it knowing that, like, okay, I'm going in against these decks. My deck is going to lose to a lot of things. Like a tier 2 OTK deck especially. Once you get to tier 1 or best deck status, things get a little hard to manage. Not because inherently they can't be tier 1, but because in order to get to tier 1, they have to do so much. You know what I mean? Or not. Oh, God. Good night, Black. I don't know what 2D is cooking, but he cooked. He cooked a little bit, yeah. It's just Infernoble, isn't it?
It's Infernoble, but with Profaness.
Oh, it's Fiend for Noble, yeah.
He literally used Profaness to banish beginning of Heaven and Earth. Gaia.
Yeah, I saw that. But playing Fiend monsters in that deck is bad. Like what? Out of the ordinary. Which is why I was thinking it might be something else.
I mean, there is synergy with Earthbound Prisoner and Wandering King Wildwind and Toddler. Like,
I wonder how it would look to do a BLS deck now with things like Night or Red Lotus. Like you definitely run an Infernoble engine, or a Therion engine. But what then?
oh, there is new testing list? I haven't noticed it.
Because wait, what?
I have not noticed new testing list.
Oh yeah. Let's hear what you got. What you think? It's a lot of very bold ideas. A lot of them I don't think are super popular, but the goal of each testing list is to test as many things as we can that we're thinking about. Roughly. And even if that leads to a format that's a little jumbled, or has one deck that got too good, then we know like these two things can exist at the same time. We can't unhit these two things at the same time. We have to reevaluate. But yeah, you can tell me your thoughts, I guess, since you're here. Going into a rank 3, is this Troika? Is Troika.
Hmm.
Hmm?
Is there a reason for specifically semi-limited Dark Factory and not limiting it?
It was a request from Wizard to simulate that and Subterra Succession. Limiting either card is kind of a lot for a draw engine, advantage engine at all. Limiting them is worrying. It's something you generally don't want to have to do, because if you do it, you're gonna end up in a situation where you're gonna end up in a rough situation. You're gonna end up in a situation where it's very sacky at 1, but at 2 it's less consistent, but it's less sacky as well. It's a little middle ground that a couple of cards are able to be in and be fine. Like, Succession at 1 is only good in Labyrinth, and everything else stop playing it. And that isn't something we want, because Succession is a really big card, personally. It enables a lot of decks that wouldn't be enabled without it. Tindangle is one of them. Tindangle would not work without Succession. I strongly believe that. Like, it would function in theory, but it wouldn't be relevant at all. You know what I mean? It would be fucking terrible.
You know, Baby Spider being placed in semi-limited with remarks of was semi-limited is questionable.
Oh, it was an accident. That was me forgetting to change it, because originally it was put unlimited on the drafts because it was not tested properly in the last testing list, and it did not show very much during the festival.
Oh wow, looks like Katie died for Tri-Brigade scenes.
What?
Looks like Katie died for Tri-Brigade scenes.
KT?
Melfi Catty.
Oh, well, Puppy. It's a swap for Puppy.
Swap?
Yeah, Puppy at 3, and it's listed on there.
Now I can't play it in my fabled list.
Yeah, I don't fully agree with that one personally, but the team wanted to try it, and it's worth trying. So that's the
Well, I guess at the very least it's Royal Rhino with this full dice turbo time.
You are like the 5th person to say this.
I mean, I was talking about it when Royal Rhino was this released.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's a net positive for Tri Brigade. I don't think it's a. I think that without Caddy, Puppy is kind of like ridiculous to even really justify.
Well, pros of Katie, it gives you interruption, and pros of Puppy, it gives you more card advantage, and at the same time, if you want, you can add interaction in form of some beast that
What?
can do it. Like Royal Rhino is one of the form of interaction. Very conditional, but it is.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't really think that's interaction at all. It's too specific. I'm gonna give it that kind of credit. Alright. And now, is Draco, with this low amount of cards, able to mount some kind of OTK? Or some kind of way to break the board? 25 minutes into the round. And we have... Ooh, shit! This would be incredible if we had extra deck monsters.
When that count
Mill
for this spell trap removal,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't look fun. Wow.
I don't know, because on one hand, Town Ford was really frustrating for a time. And we know that Vendread Revenants is safe to bring back, but both of them at once is too strong. Even without core. And we know that Revenants is not strong enough for the deck to see any play. We also know that trap decks are fucking everywhere, and anti-trap decks like that are valued. And Lord of the Red exists. And for those reasons, I feel like Hound Horde without Revenants is like, okay. I know it doesn't pop, but in exchange you don't get any monster removal. And theoretically you can make it and Lord of the Red. But like that's hard. It's not
I
consistent.
mean, it just the biggest problem is for me is spell traps is like the only consistent way to get rid of Vendread.
Yeah. If you're
There is no extra deck monster that just solves problem with
That's not
Vendread.
true. That's not true at all.
Well, there is
Zeta.
Jaja, but
So
Zeta?
remember that we've banned both cards to prevent it from being targeted. So you can't make it prevent targeting anymore. So any sort of non-targeting removal that is temporary will remove its inherent effect, its gained effects, and therefore the card will be vulnerable again, or the card will lose its effects and therefore will not be banishing your spell traps anymore.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is run cards, even if you negate its effect. So you can do stuff like, oh, I'm worried about Vendread in this current metagame. So I'm going to run Chalice instead of Dynamicious or something. And I'll run, and that card will be a good out to Slayer and also just a decent card. Book of Moon, similar cards to that. There are definitely situations where it's going to be like, well, I don't have an out to this card. So I'm going to have to lose a spell trap and potentially lose the graveyard effect of another spell trap to remove the Slayer. But Slayer costs more than 2 cards. Typically. So that's not a net negative necessarily. It's just that if you have that plus, you can't, and it can't be torrential. So that's the...
Outside of extra decks, there is very few non-destruction removal. I would say outside of very few exceptions, there is almost no non-destruction removal.
That's not true.
Monsters.
This is just not true. There's 2 rank 4s. Like, out of the rank 4 pool alone, then there's a rank 3, there's a... Thinking on the rank 5s. I feel like there's a rank 5, but I don't quote me on that. There's a rank 5 if you play Baby Spider while it's at 2. Which is a weird thing to say, but I don't think is really impossible to bring up.
Still, there is a lot of decks that don't play rank 3, rank 4, and don't play synchros.
Haggard Lizard does...
How Cyber's decks would deal with it?
How Cyber's decks deal with it? Power Kotaker. Right there. Power Kotaker negates its effects, and then that makes it lose its banish. Cyber's decks also don't really care about their spell traps. Except for, like,
after you mentioned Power Talker, I kind of find it more reasonable.
Yeah,
because Power is very generic.
Pin it early. we'll deal with it. And there's, I mean, Price Velger, if you're going first, it'll just prevent it from ever coming out, probably. But that's not really what I mean.
Why Roland is unlimited?
What?
Why Invernable Knight Captain Roland is unlimited?
The difference between 2 and 3 is ceremonial at best.
I would rather it be limited, honestly.
What? The thing with it, one, is it makes it so that the weaker Captain Roland is, the stronger Therion builds are versus the Infernova builds. And especially if we're gonna do Bolta 2, which probably will update this list at some point, and it'll end up being Bolta 1. Because in retrospect, I found out that Tatsuda I suggested that and I missed it because I was like sleeping or something. And then Wizard was also suggesting it, but he was also suggesting Reinforced Truth. And I was like, we do not need Reinforced Truth back. That's not the one that I would undo. Because I would not give them more access to Roland, especially if I'm trying to look at how do we buff Infernable to compensate for the losses of Therion. Even though I don't think that's necessary at all anymore. I feel like, honest to God, after consideration, it'd be more likely that in the next update to this testing list, that card just goes to 3. Balanch stays at 3. The idea is to test it. See how it feels with 2 copies. Let people have a chance to see that and then what would go from there. Another thing that people are concerned about is the changes to Pendulum, namely Vortex and Synthes. And I did want to test them at the same time, but now that I've seen it play, I can say that it does make for some fucking stupid end boards. But those end boards are also 4-card combos that, if I remember correctly, do not leave you with scales. And therefore, are not worth my fucking worry. Because if the combo with Pendulum is really strong, it can win you the game. But then your board is broken, you have no scales, you lose the game. It's also not consistent.
What did Simurgh Repulsion do?
Simurgh Repulsion is part of a bunch of Tribrigade OTK decks. The idea of the limit, at least the reason I chose that to hit and limit it, is because it is a searchable card. You can search it. So the idea is you have to dedicate your normal summon, or you have to commit to your normal summon because the other card can be normal summon without tributing if you normal summon a Winged Beast. But it means that you can't do it first thing. Your opponent has to have a chance to interact with you.
If you normal or special summon Winged Beast.
Oh, is that true? Okay, so. Alright, fair enough. Regardless, your opponent needs to interact with you. Needs to have the opportunity to interact with you. Use cards to something like Peleos and shit. You can't just say,
Understandable.
I'm dropping this on the field. But now you have 4 copies of it still. So, if you're really set on playing that card, you still can. And it won't be any consistency loss.
Press F for Raid Raptor who gets collateral damage.
What?
Press F for Raid Raptor who gets collateral damage.
I mean, I guess, but Raid Raptor, it's a level 4. I feel like Raid Raptor wouldn't mind playing a level 4 Winged Beast that summons itself and then searches a card.
In my Raid Raptor builds, I played Repulsion at 3.
Yeah, I know. But if you played the Simorg instead and then played Repulsion at 1, you would still be about as likely to draw it. In fact, it'd be more likely. How would the world cope with a crazy beast limit? Thinking
I
about
would
it,
not oppose it. Because it feels like
this part is.
literally a direct virtual world hit.
Yeah. Well, it's not. I don't think Virtual World needs to get hit. Virtual World has not been dominant at all ever. That's the thing. Is that it's like it's floating around 7. It's at 7 points right now, which is 4th best. Mine behind in order. Mill, then Goaty, or then Infernable, then Goaty. But it's like a 3-point drop off from Goaty.
I mean, I still find it's as overall good thing because Crazy Beast is unreasonably good against Xyz decks.
It's very good, yeah. Oh, hold on. Fish got 1 more point today. So they are
Having-
tied, actually.
Having distraction protection for your monsters and reborning himself for free, it makes it justifiable to be at 1.
Yeah. But I also think doing that is going to do a lot of damage. It does more damage than I'm giving it credit for, is what I was thinking after saying it. Is that it actually does do quite a bit of hurt towards a deck that, in all honesty, doesn't deserve it. It just doesn't deserve to get slaughtered like it would, probably. Or not slaughtered, but it would be hurt. It would feel worse to play. And it doesn't deserve that. It just truly doesn't. Almost every top deck has an way to outslayer. That's true. That's true too.
Yeah, Power Chord is the only reason why I find it reasonable.
What?
Power Chord is only...
Yeah. Well, I said Pit Knight immediately after. Does that do anything? Pit Knight is more generic.
Yeah, but it's much harder to set up Pit Knight. You need either a lot of material or a couple of turns of setup.
Yeah. That's true. And Vendred can try to find the way there in OTK. But I do think... Like, oh, I have to prepare for this deck now, isn't that big of a deal. Like, if you can make a triple burst, you can make Power Code, largely. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess biggest losers of Hound Horde is Pendulum decks.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you lose access to bringing out monsters on field, you lose access to materials to outslayer. And so you are in, like, perpetual cycle of not being able to outwin Red.
Oh, yeah, no. I think Hound Horde, like, fucks up Pendulum, like, big. But if we're doing this, and then Pendulum gets other buffs, but the Ritual decks keep it in check, and the other decks can keep the Ritual decks in check, I don't know. That's not that bad. SC is better go to time again. Okay, so but maybe it's not just Scudder Shark. That's this. This deck's survivability is really high.
Maybe it's actually 600 seconds timer. Have you ever considered?
No, this is we're on normal timer today. No one complained, but I did put it to normal timer today.
I would be so happy if there was 300 second timer instead of 600.
Yeah, 450 or something.
Like, if you don't need to learn new decks, 300 seconds should be more than enough.
Yeah, but there are people that learn their decks to do this, man. But I think 300 isn't enough for how complicated and how interactive this format is versus something like the TCG or Master Duel, where it's a lot less impactful. What are we looking at? Are we gonna win this here this turn? Going into Glaciosaurus. What's funny is that he can try and use Goblin Crazy Beast, but he can't actually do it. Oh, wow, again? Gonna activate our Xuanwu.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh. Imagine.
Not great. Not a great mill. I can't lie to you, dog. But they probably have a third lefty driver that they could now access next turn. So, that's not horrible.
Imagine if they had at least Jaja in extra. You don't see Column resolve Force Virtual Gate every day.
No, you really don't. There are 4 VW players! If this deck does not top, that's fraud shit. I believe in it. I believe in the sweep. Come on, man. VW players, I'm dropping the act. I'm fully on your side, bro. You better fucking get this. Also, calling it a beach episode when we have a meta deck at such a high play rate is a little silly, but I kind of get it. It's like, this is stupid that there's so many people on it, but also, you kind of have to consider the sheer amount of people that are on it. Oh, told you. What a weird set of effects, by the way.
Which one?
This card. All virtual monsters you control gain 200 attack this turn. Sure, I guess. So the top of the cards is ejected graveyard. This deck does not mill. For the top of the deck. It does not do it at all. What a weird effect. Why not pop a card? Summon it's a 4 virtual monster different into your extra deck. This sounds great, and then you realize that the best one has a fucking effect in the grave to revive itself. And that's part of why it's so fucking good.
Can't wait for Virtual World Synchro 3 that will make it broken.
God, could you fucking imagine? It's very nice. Alright, Draco. Bring him home. Shiranui Spoiler Saga. Bring him home, boy. Let's see it. Carbonetin has 600 defense.
It's actually one of the very few ways to out interdimensional matter forward.
It banishes cards from graveyard. I guess it does banish cards from graveyard. That's not the same, though. It banishes cards from graveyard to summon itself, though. That's... Which means it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And Draco Kid takes round 3. Good game to Draco Kid. We're running another ad break and watch another replay. We're gonna watch Abe Mania because we can, and I don't think we've actually seen the person very much at all. And then if we have time, we'll watch Harm and Skybro. But we'll put this on fast forward. PD battery. Draco Kid, shout out. And Harm. Alright, then we are setting up the OTK of a century here. And it looks like we're gonna see it happen too. Banish this. We cannot detach the attribute's effect. We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna add. Is that fucking Cypherine Driver? I wasn't concerned about that at first, but then I realized what a weird thing that is to find here. Primal Howl. We're gonna go into Goblin's Crazy Beast number 2 here. Go into Battle Phase. Swing in. This thing's for 3,000. Cyframe Driver is actually really smart now that I'm thinking about it. Ooh, the Darkest Night, though. The Darkest Night clears the board. But Tricentosaurus to attack Labrador Dragon to summon itself. With no attack, but it summons itself. Banish this. Target a virtual world monster. Special summon it. Send a card from hand to graveyard. Activate this. Pop 2. We're just going to let them revive a Fiend or Warrior. Out comes the Jax Knight. Then when Goblin's Crazy Beast summon itself, go into battle phase, swing in, and that is lethal on board. But we can take control of their 3,000 attack monster, summon both attacks, and give them one more turn. With Permanent Howl in hand and Expected Die, that looks pretty good. It looks like a solid start. But is it going to be enough to survive more than one more turn? Is it going to be enough to survive a couple turns? Are they going to pop the red card with Chuche here, or are we going to just let it go? GG? GG. That seems appropriate enough. We're going to summon out the Queen's Knight, go into Jaja. Jaja, detach, prevent the destruction of itself, go into battle, swing in, but we're going to Spindle Die. Popping the Chuche, Virtual World, going to Dynamiscus. Put these two back to pop a card, popping our own card, summoning this. So instead of our card getting destroyed, it gets destroyed, but we don't get to draw a card, I think. We get to just pop it in, and they're given one more turn to make this work. And that's the end of the game. An incredible show of force from yet another VW player. Abimania. And then I want to see Harmon Skybro. And while we're doing that, that's when I'll start the final round. Our finals are Draco Kid versus 2D Battery, Infernoble versus Virtual World, a deck that we really haven't seen before today, but suddenly we're seeing all too much of. Oh, this isn't just Mill, this is Advanced Mill. Just fucking Rocket. What the fuck? Summoning the Toby. Popping these out, we're gonna 4v banish this to get Heavy Interlock. Are we gonna do what I think we're gonna? No, we're not. Okay, good. Probably for the best. Going into this, go to end phase. Okay, it's not just Mill. It's just this card.
Yeah, let's go -4 to summon Barrel.
Yeah, I really thought I was like, are they gonna do that? Then no. Okay, yeah, right. Skybro's an Armed Dragon, and I've yet to see him summon an Armed Dragon. This deck is just that bad. This deck is just so bad. Alright. Lost Dice for Trap deck. Oh. It's not over yet, Draco Kid. You hold on, bro. You got this. Skybro, you break. Yeah, your deck seems to be doing nothing but, though. Because that's the second game of yours I watched, and you bricked both times. So. Just sure that Havness Fusion 7. Alright, shuffling away the ready driver here. Summoning out our Toddler of Torment. Oh. Dude, I still believe in you, bro. Or not 2D, Draco. Got so I popping the back row, and then sending the monster for a draw. Just Link summoning. Haggard Lizard Dose, going for the draw. Draw into Durandal, it looks like. Very lucky draw. Ugh. Oh, there's been a glitch. How far are we into this round? Alright, well. Oh. They've chosen not to try to play it out. Alright. Tonio here with Penny Fire, I guess. This way to lose a game for real. I was already losing opponent had me beaten. That's valid. Look. That was a really good run from you. I don't want you to be beaten up about it or anything. That's all I'm worried about. Now, I'm not going to say that you weren't in a losing position there, because you kind of were. What I am going to say is that you did really good today. And I think you have a lot. You could put, if you put the effort forward, you could definitely do a whole lot more. Yeah, but hey, they didn't have you out yet. And they didn't have lethal either, so if they don't have lethal, there's always a chance. Arm sending to activate. Alright, well. Tenyu tributes its monk. Summon a Tenyu from the deck. You go into Stardust Charge at the level 1. This list is a whole mess. It's crazy. I don't think that's just me that thinks that, though. Oh, you're welcome, man. There you go. Carbon Laboratory are the coolest parts of the deck. I think they're referring to VW. I want to talk a little bit about VW tech options. VW tech options are hysterical. Alright, going into a ritual summon. We are actually doing it. -4 for a single summon of Borreload Riot Dragon. What a creature.
I will be going to sleep. Goodbye.
Good night, team.
Have a good one.
Alright, we're going in for the direct attack. It looks like this duel's over right here. We're going to Fair Welcome Labyrinth to pop the field spell for no particular reason, really. What is happening right now? Oh, Riro. Okay, Riro. And just for everyone that's here, if you want to play with a friend, you obviously, I'm not going to stop you. But don't do it in the tournament room until the tournament has ended. Otherwise, you're going to disturb the tournament. People are going to get confused. If you have to, you can leave the room and it would be fine. Especially if you aren't in the tournament. Suship still... I cannot believe Suship survived this. I cannot believe that Tonio is still in this game, bro. That's really impressive. And there it is. Congratulations to finally taking that dub from Harm. And it's at the end of the round. It is the end of the round. So I'm going to put everything together into one place. And you're going to be there for it right after these messages. Because I am running out of that break. Screw it. I've been here for like 3 hours. Alright, we banish them rather with their puppetry. Alright, and with this, I will, once this outbreak ends, I will announce our winners. Our players who are decks are going to receive points, and who is going to receive the invite for today. Alright. With our brackets all ready, let's see who made it the furthest today. So based on current bracket, there are 5 people who are at least 3-1, which means one of them, tragically, is not going to be counted for points. Well, I guess I could. I normally... It's a bit of a case by case. Normally it's the amount of rounds we do. And we got close to having 5 rounds, but we did not have 5 rounds actually. Let's just go down the list from here. In 4th place, or as our honorable mention, is Abe Mania, who today brought Virtual World. In 4th is SC43 on Tindangle. Despite a very good performance of the NRCS, this is technically his first top and a no riches with the deck. Which I think, wait, no, actually, I'm not, don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's true. I think it is, but I don't know. In 3rd is our running up for finals, Draco Kid. Also on Virtual World. Congratulations on 3rd in your first event. Congratulations to Abe Mania, because I believe this is their first event too, and they got 5th. They went 3-1. That's also very impressive. Let me check that out while I can. In 2nd place, however, following that, is Merlin. Otherwise known as Wizrad, who joined today and got runner-up on King's Night. A deck that probably could have been tiered at in a different era. at a different time. But today, not a chance. And in first place, undefeated, for the second time in a row, is 2D Battery. His first ever two-peat, or repeat win, for sure. And past that, his first ever my brain is turning off. I'm sorry. Beyond that, this is 2D Battery won last week, which means that he has the invite. Which means that Merlin Wizrad is going to receive the invite this week. Though if I was him, I'd honestly pass that shit down to the new player. Not that I... No, you can't actually do that. But I kind of wish it was. The difference in opponent win rate is 4%, by the way. It's very, very close. So, I will get these numbers out to you. And we'll chillax for just a little bit. Or maybe we won't. Maybe I'll just head right out. Because... Well, no, we didn't just get the cards. Court of Cards has been around for, like, since the game came out. There was certainly a time where the format was low enough power that I think this deck could have succeeded without some of these number monster cards. Well, no. Anyway, I know Lotus Knight and Primite. I kind of forgot about Primite for a second. I can't lie, but I was definitely thinking about Lotus Knight when I said that. And I think that even without Lotus Knight, the deck would be fine. I think that works like that. Alright. And with that over, with everything settled, Direction tournament results is great. Are we watching? Am I? Oh, hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Spacing out a little bit. Had a long week. I'm sorry. Even it's under it. Oh, I haven't seen. I was looking at the tournament chat. Okay, that was really good, actually. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to find a channel to raid out to. Let's see if there's anything that we can... Anyone we can send you to. You know what? I am going to send you over to Sarah Hyde because they're replaying Undertale, or not Undertale, Deltarune. And I replayed Deltarune today. Oh, no, because I think they're about to end stream. They're hold on. Okay, no, they're definitely about to end stream soon. But I noticed that. Well, there's a weekly, Cloud City Weekly that's happening today. So we're going to send you over to Eclipse XP to do that. Now, if you're new here, when we raid, we'd like to send this. So if everyone here could do that, I'd be very thankful. Ladies and gentlemen, everything outside in between, that. Have a great day. And I will see you soon.